This is the plaintiff, Wesley Francis. He says the defendant, his best friend's brother-in-law, put him in harm's way when he loaned him a Ford Bronco with bad brakes. He was going 100 miles an hour down a hill when the brakes gave way, and he's lucky to be alive. The defendant told him to have the brakes fixed because he was far from home, won't reimburse him, and that's just plain wrong. He's suing for $524.95, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Paul Taylor. He says he told the guy not to have the brakes fixed because he would do it himself. He also had no idea the plaintiff was driving his truck to Ohio because he said he was borrowing it just in case his wife needed to run an errand, certainly not to drive it out of state. Oh, the plaintiff money? Nah. He's accused of putting a life in peril.
Okay, Wesley.
Yes, ma'am.
Francis, you are suing Paul Taylor.
Yes, ma'am.
For $524.95 that you say it cost you to repair his car and a ticket you got for faulty equipment on his car.
Yes,
Tell me what's going on.
First, I met Paul Taylor through his brother-in-law, and the Taylor family is a great family. I have no gripes or anything about the Taylor family. Beautiful people. Started out through my best friend, his brother-in-law. I met Paul, had fun with him, picnics over their house. It started when I was going to buy a car from him, 2004 Ford Crown Victoria. During this time, I said, how much for the car? It was $3,000. So I said, $3,000 cash for the car. He said, but I don't have the title. It'll be 2 weeks before I get the title for the car. I said, okay, no problem. My brother, my best friend's brother-in-law. What could go wrong? So after several weeks went by, I called him for the title. Still no title. Something's wrong in Albany. Still no title. So after about a month goes by, I had
Were you driving the car?
No, ma'am. It was parked in my driveway.
Okay.
After a month goes by, my wife calls up Albany to ask about the title for the car. Where's it at? There's no title in his name in the car. It wasn't even in his name.
Whose car was this that you were selling?
It was mine. I didn't get the title yet.
You hadn't gotten the title yet. How long had you owned it?
Almost a year.
Well, why didn't you register it in your name a year ago?
Because I didn't get the title.
Well, what the heck did you do? You just drove around a car and the title and somebody... Whose name was the title under?
I think it was Poughkeepsie Police Department.
You're driving around a police vehicle as your personal car. Are you a cop?
What? No.
What do you do?
He's a fire chief in the town of Waltham.
You're the fire chief in the town?
No.
So wait. It's your personal playground? You're driving around... Wait. You're driving around a car registered to the police for a year. You don't bother to register it in your name? Did you buy it from the police?
No, I bought it from a friend of mine. He got it out of the police auction.
Yes, I know. Somebody buys it from an auction. It is now theirs. Did that person not register it?
I wasn't
Yes or
driving
no?
around.
The answer is no. If we know the answer is no, because it's still registered under the police department.
Right.
All right, then you buy it from that friend.
Yep.
And you don't register it, and you drive it for a year.
I wasn't driving it for a year.
What were you doing with it for a year?
Waiting for a title. I had a dealer plate for a little while using it.
Would you have a dealer plate for? You're not a dealer.
My friend's a dealer plate.
So he gave you his dealer plate?
Yeah.
Your friend works for is your friend the owner of the dealership?
No.
Oh my gosh. So you have a friend who works for a dealer, so they make the dealer liable for any accident you have in your car by loaning you surreptitiously a deal. What kind of law enforcement officer are you?
I'm not. I'm a volunteer fireman.
Volunteer fireman. Wow. Okay. So now you sell it to him and you got the money up front, but you tell him it's going to take a while to get now you don't even know how long it's going to take because according to you, you waited for a whole year for it. What made you think you were going to produce one for him?
Well, that's what I was telling him, that I was waiting that long. I had a temporary registration on this car. It's a really messed up situation.
Yeah. Tell me how it is that you expected to sell. What was your hurry to get the money?
I was buying another car.
All right. So one fine day, you need to borrow a car because you can't drive that one, according to you.
Yes, ma'am. I couldn't drive the car, and I told Paul beforehand my mother was sick and she has Crohn's disease. She's not very well. And I had to go to a camp afterwards, but I had to visit my mother first.
I had to go to a what?
I had to go to Ohio to visit my mother. She's got Crohn's disease and she's very ill. And at the same time, on the way back from visiting her in her hospital, I was going to stop at our deer hunting camp with the guys for a week. And I can't hunt, I'm disabled, but it's there for a week. We go every year, it's a family tradition. He agreed to do that. So I get the car from Paul the night before, and no problems, he cleaned out the car.
Wait. So he was going to loan you the car for how long?
As long as I needed, man, until I got the title for the blue car.
Because you were mad because you still hadn't gotten a title.
Yes,
and it had been already a month, 2 months?
It's been several months, yes,
Several
ma'am.
months.
And he understood that, so he agreed to loan me the...
Was this the new car that he bought?
Yes, ma'am, the Ford Expedition.
All right, so he then loans you the Ford Expedition.
Yes, ma'am.
On what day?
It was November... let me look at the date, ma'am, I'm sorry here. The date on this is November 18th.
Okay.
2009, he loaned me the car.
And according to you, he knew you were taking the car
Yes, ma'am, without
to
a doubt.
Ohio and to the deer hunting. Okay, now according to you, you did not know that.
No, I didn't
What
know.
did you think? Why were you loaning him the car?
Because he needed a vehicle to keep at his house in case his wife had an emergency situation when he was gone on vacation in Ohio.
Okay. All right,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
now you go on the road and what happens?
I got approximately 10 to 15 miles out of our town the next morning, and I got pulled over by a police check. They pulled me over because it has no front license plate. It has fire chief on it. Okay, and the guy pulls me over for that, and then he goes...
Wait, it has what on
has
the
a front plate that says fire chief. The front plate.
Instead of being...
Instead of a regular license plate, yes, ma'am.
You didn't notice that when you went into it?
Well, ma'am, I didn't know.
Okay.
I don't know the laws of that. If he's a fire
Okay.
chief, I believe him. He's giving me a perfectly good vehicle to borrow.
Okay.
I mean, I don't do an inspection even when I would go rent a car.
No, I was just curious if you...
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
apparently it's a law in your state that you have to have a front and a back license plate, right? Haven't you... You didn't notice it didn't have a front plate?
No, ma'am, I did
You
not.
just assumed that it was
Yes,
okay
ma'am.
for him to
Without a doubt, ma'am.
have his own laws apply to him. All right, so go ahead.
So during the pullover, I didn't get cited for the no plate. It come up, the vehicle wasn't even inspected. So I have a ticket here, ma'am, that I still have to go to court in the town of Wyandotte for an uninspected motor vehicle.
Let me see what you've got. Hand it to Douglas, please. Okay, so you get that ticket, and the
Yes,
ticket is
ma'am.
for how much?
$100.
Okay, so go on.
So after that, about 5 more miles, I got off of Route 6 and got on Route 84. I'm going down a mountain, and I felt that I started slowing down because it's a steep grade going down the mountain. I apply the brakes, and then they just get real soft. Then all of a sudden, the brakes go. Now I'm just flying down the hill, and it's just going. And one time, I had approximately 100 miles an hour just trying, and I just started pumping and pumping the brakes. By the time I got to the bottom, it's a long 5-mile flat stretch. I just started pumping and pumping the brakes and going down from P, D to 2 to 1. I got it stopped, got off the side of the road, and that time I started, and I have phone records here where I called his brother-in-law because I didn't know his phone number at the time. And, I was panicked. I didn't know. I had his phone number written down in my wallet.
How'd you end up stopping?
It just stopped. I got it down, like I said, I kept pumping, and it just, there was enough fluid in it to maintain the pumping. And while I was trying to get on a phone conversation, I noticed a station right there off of exit 1 in Pennsylvania. I got it over there. I coasted it over there, took it real slow in first gear, got it over there, parked it there, and went in and got the service manager and the owner, who wrote me a letter here,
Let me see that.
stating that he would never do work on the vehicle without permission from the owner.
Did he speak to the owner?
Yes, he did, ma'am.
Tell
And
me
the phone
about that.
conversation, the phone records show that we called him at this time at 10:42 on his cell phone number and talked to him with the service manager stating he would have never did it, a letter from the service manager, the owner. So
Okay, and so he says yes, according to you, and then you get it fixed, you go on your trip,
no, ma'am.
what do you do?
I had to come back home because when it was up in the air, the service manager noticed, he said, it looks like it was sitting in the field or just sitting for a while. One of the belts on the rear tire was broken, and the brakes were so bad, and the gas tank rusted. He said, I wouldn't take this car anywhere.
Would you ever make a car deal with a close friend or a family member?
I wouldn't, but if it came down to it and it was a close friend and I had to do it, I would make sure that I had a contract and that I really believed in the vehicle I was selling.
Would you ever do it? I mean, it's risky.
Oh yeah, no problem. If they're my friend, I'm with them.
Really? I mean, do you know how many of these deals go bad in the People's Court?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot going inside the courtroom.
Now, tell me your version about this repair, because you've gotten the car back. The car has the repair done to it, so you now have good brakes and whatever else. Now, what is your reason why you will not pay him?
I did not authorize that work to be done on the vehicle.
What did you think was going to happen? I can understand that if I were to hear
Well, it
now
was good.
evidence that you sent a tow truck and the tow truck came up empty-handed because the repair had been done, but how did you
We
figure
had
to solve
called
this
back
little
and forth.
problem?
It was called back and forth. He kept calling me. He was trying to find out how much this was going to be
Yes,
and
but
what was wrong with it.
I know you spoke to him several times because I see that in the evidence, okay? So tell me what you said you do when the guy has broken down in a car that you loaned him out of guilt because you can't get clean title to the purchase you had no business making, okay? Tell me what it is that you're telling him is going to happen instead of what happened. Because if you want me to believe you didn't authorize the repair, I have to know what you said was going to happen. How were you going to solve this problem? Were you going to drive out there? Were you going to pick him up? Did you send a tow truck? And then then all of a sudden there was nobody to tow? What happened?
The last time I talked to him, I said I was getting off at 3 o'clock. I will come out with the trailer and pick you up. The truck at that point had been fixed. My wife had called me. I was on my way home from work, and she said the expedition is back there at the house, my house, and Wes had dropped a ticket and all kinds of other stuff off for the vehicle. I had just bought the vehicle. It wasn't even registered and insured on my name. It was still registered in Jerry's name.
It wasn't even registered in your name?
Not yet. That's why I was.
Why not?
I just got it. I got it.
Jerry, you do. Are you Jerry? Jerry, you do understand that if he runs over a truckload of orphans, you are paying.
Yes.
How do you? Come on up. How do you two know each other?
Paul's a friend of mine.
Okay. Did you know that he hadn't registered it in his name yet?
Yes, it was still registered and insured in my name.
Oh, you did that on purpose. Oh, well, that's crazy. Okay. You did that as a favor to him.
No, it was my vehicle, and
How
it
long
was
ago
registered.
had he bought it?
What's that?
How long ago had he bought it?
He didn't buy it. I had given it to him so he could use it for his fire police duties, but he hadn't been able to get it registered and insured just yet. So I said, all right, well, I'll leave it registered and insured in my name.
Did you know he was going to loan it to a third party?
No.
Okay,
No.
do you see now crystal clear why one
Most
never
certainly.
does this? Okay.
Most certainly.
Okay, good. I never seen. All right. Now, how do you figure that you wouldn't have to pay the $100 for the ticket?
Because I had told him that didn't have an inspection sticker on it because the windshield had a crack in it.
Okay, so you're driving this around as your good friend just testified to do your fire chief duties as your good friend just testified, and it has not been inspected. And you know it, but you're doing it anyway, and then you're telling him about it, and then he goes off and gets a ticket but starts crying at the top of his lungs over it because he didn't know. All right, I don't believe you. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $524.95.
Well, the volunteer fire chief over here comes out on the losing end. Step on in here. What's your reaction after hearing that verdict from the judge?
Well, the cars were, there is temporary registrations on them. Mm-hmm. I did have it for, what, a year with the temporary registration.
Yeah.
It's a friend of mine that kind of screwed all that up.
This whole thing seems like a big kind of screw up, right?
It was all
If you had to do this over again, what do you do differently? Where's your mistake in this whole thing?
I'd probably do it all over again.
You'd lend it to him again just the same way? Did you know the brakes were that bad?
No.
How about that?
No, I didn't know the vehicle. I just got the vehicle that day.
Did you?
The brakes weren't bad.
Oh, they weren't bad?
I think he was in awe over the judge.
You know,
the vehicle
all right,
was
right down there. Those brakes didn't fail. All right, so come on in here, sir. How are you feeling about the outcome here?
Well, fine, sir, but nobody wins. I lost a best friend over this whole incident. But I wish him and his family all the best in life. I have nothing negative to say.
I mean, he's the official in the town. He came in with the cadre of people over here. You got nothing.
It just goes to show you some people in those positions, what they do.
What do you think, Harvey?
I got to tell you, I think it's a bad idea. You may want to do it, but everything should be eyes wide open because so many friendships and family relationships have gone down the toilet because of something as stupid as a car deal. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.